Welcome back to 5 Minutes of X, where 5 is more of a guideline. I'm reading every mutant comic Marvel ever made, month by month, and this week, Marvel delivers twice as many pages, but 2 times 0 is, well, it's just 0. July 17th, 1968, Marvel drops Avengers Annual number 2 and the X-Men number 48. The art for the Avengers cameo was created by John Buscema, and there isn't any story need for a writer here, so we're just going to skip that. The X-Men, however, had 2 artists, Werner, Roth, and Don Heck. Writing was done by Arnold Drake. Still sort of swirling artists and writers every month on the X-Book, but it's kind of a smaller set of artists, so at least it's kind of common month to month. Avengers Annual 2 has 2 pinups with Wanda and Pietro. Here's the first one. It's good. Yep. And here's the second. Yep. You know, back when Avengers 16 started, when Wanda and Pietro joined, I was just kind of bummed that I was going to have to be reading a lot of Avengers. I'm not a huge Avengers fan. And I'm actually legit mad right now about how cut out they are. They aren't even real. And yet, here I am, just butthurt about it still. Okay, let's talk about the X-Men. Issue 48 opens with Jean modeling in a bikini. It's what I assume a typical modeling shoot would be like, including skeezy, mustachioed men hitting on the models. This dude right here gets right up in Jean's bubble. Gross. You can tell she has not found herself yet. If a man did that to her now, she would, scramble their brains or whatever. Scott arrives to pick up Jean an hour early. The other models are drooling over him, and he's acting very off character. After the two of them leave, it's revealed that this is all an act. Are they dating? Unclear, but they have a different pattern than in the past, maybe due to the new writer, or maybe they're dating. I don't know. So Scott shows Jean his new job as well. He's working at a radio station. Scott, being a radio personality, has always kind of been a thing over the years. It's come up a handful of times. Had he not been a mutant, it may have likely been his career. Kind of unknown since he's been a mutant this whole time. The action of this issue is completely forgettable. Some robots attack the radio station, and Jean and Scott chase them to a defunct construction site where they easily defeat them. They're working for Quasimodo, but this dude is only in like a page and a half before his construction site lair is flooded. I don't think there's a return from him in the X books. I know he's kind of been around Marvel a little bit, but I can't remember anything off the top of my head for X-Men. Cyclops and Marvel Girl continue to work really well together as mutants and as friends and or people who are dating. I don't know. Again, it's unclear. Also, Marvel is starting to power creep Jean at a perfect pace. The excuse given here is those private meetings Charles had with Jean before his passing. She is getting more and more powerful. Jean and Scott will both get power buffs a lot over the years, but the pacing here now with her is just about right for me. Okay, our 5-page backup story covers Beast's powers, super dexterous hands and feet. He can take huge falls without issue, and his intellect is super high. No story to see here, though. We will get Hank's backstory in the next issue, so Marvel has kind of flipped the order by showing the power set of the characters first. His are sort of the most normalized or easy to understand. Well, I guess Angel's are as well, because he just flies, but nothing surprising like with Scott's eye beams or anything like that. So this Avengers Annual, I mean, again, the pinups are nice. Moving on. The relationship building between Scott and Jean is great. I like them being like the centerpiece of this particular issue. The villain of the week portion of this book, however, is just a total snooze. Jean's modeling career is very short-lived, and I'm kind of glad for it. Yes, she is a hot chick, but being smoking hot isn't really a defining characteristic for her. It's just something that also happens to be true. It's literally the same story with Scott, actually. In the 80s and 90s, there are a lot of beefcake shirtless Scott Summers moments, basically for the same reason. Heck, they're doing them now, actually, in 2025. Check out this issue from earlier in the summer. Whoa. All right, well, the Blackbird is returning to base. Character and creator info and the complete reading list for all this project is over at Jordy.com. New episodes drop twice weekly, Wednesday noon, Friday 4 p.m. Eastern. The X-Men has fewer than 20 issues left before the era completely ends. Things are weird in both the comic and the Marvel bullpen, but in all this weirdness, there are some real gems.